Very good evening, class. So, today we are going to start a new topic, and that is Urwick and Gulick's contribution. Okay, so classical theory के अंदर what were the contributions by Urwick and Gulick we are going to discuss. Okay, in earlier classes we have covered Taylor and Fioll in a detailed manner, and I hope that you have understood them. And this is something very important in your previous year question paper. If you see, there would be mention of Taylor and Fioll a lot. Okay, many of the questions have been asked on the topic of the Taylor and Fioll. Okay, and here also we have Gulick and Urwick. Okay, Gulick and Urwick were also a great contributor. We have covered Gulick and Urwick many a time. Okay, but here in classical theory, the main contribution like we are going to analyze. Okay, so I just want you people that please cram or either understand or just get these things into your mind, because Fioll, Taylor, Gulick, Urwick, these four people are very important name in your subject of public administration. Okay, so we'll start with the Gulick and Urwick. Okay, so Gulick and Urwick were in favor of the ideas of Fioll. Okay, so Taylor was a scientific person. He believed in scientific management theory, and Fioll believed in the organization of the bureaucracy or organization of public administration, and he gave the classical theory. So these both were the actually supporter of the Fioll. So they elaborated the idea of Henry Fioll afterwards. They stressed upon the importance of structure of organization, as Fioll gave the importance to the structure of organization. Similarly, they both also gave the stress to the structure of the organization. Similarly, they tried to determine the functioning of them, and they also neglected the human factor in the organization. Like Taylor tried to analyze the workmanship, the relation between worker and the employee and the employer, but here they rejected the human aspect, and they only gave importance to the organizational structure. Okay, that how organizational structure should be. Okay, so this was the major problem in your classical theory, and these people who came afterwards could not do much reform in classical theory, as they also followed the earlier theorist. Okay, so Gulick and Urwick followed the principles of the Fioll, and on the basis of that they contributed their theory. Okay, so we are going to study here Gulick's 10 of principles. If you see 10 principles of the organization, you will find that there is far similarity between organization. If you actually study the principles, you will find that there are far similarity. Okay, so these similarities are: first is decision of work or specialization. Division of work, sorry. Here it is like division of work or specialization. They also emphasize on the specialization thing. Okay, they said that there should be particular department for a particular thing. Okay, like we have finance department, है ना? So we have finance ministry, we have telecom department, we have civil department, we have railway department, है ना? We have transport authority. So there are each and every department for the each and every activity. Like for economy also, we have economical department. There are so many departments we are dealing with. Okay, so all these departments today are existing because of the division of the work. Okay, so he believed that work should be divided according to the specialization. Okay, so here also work are divided, like work is divided. So he believed in that. Second principle is basis of departmental organization. Like we have the organization on the basis of department only, है ना? Finance department है, defense ministry department है, foreign affair department है. There are so many departments we are dealing with because these people give the principles of the organization, and in many of the countries or most of the countries these principles are being followed. Okay, third is coordination through the hierarchy. As I told you, hierarchy thing, we have discussed about hierarchy a lot in our earlier classes. I don't think that I have to explain about hierarchy and again, but they say that there should be proper coordination through the hierarchy. Like top person should listen to the subordinate, then officer should like again listen to the subordinate, and if subordinate want to complain something, then he also can go to the to his officer. तो it is, there should be complete coordination, है ना. तो hierarchy भी हो तो वहां पे complete coordination होना चाहिए. Deliberate coordination. What is deliberate coordination? It is coordination through the ideas. Okay, these people should come together. Like if we have in today's, like I give you example, in today's Indian economy we have three problems mainly: trade deficit, poverty. We have three problems. First is trade deficit, second is poverty, major problem I would say, third is unemployment. If we see them interrelated, then also we have another problem, that is fiscal deficit. है ना? So these are the problems we are facing today. And for solving these problems, there would be use of some of the ideas. Okay. So ideas would be given by the departmental's head or the subordinates who are working there. Like आप IAS RS बनते हो, SDM बनते हो, या आप आगे जाके आप IAS एग्जाम क्रैक करके आप IAS बनते हो, ठीक है. After that you would have to see कि how you have to deal with the things. Okay. Like you have trade deficit, you have poverty, you have unemployment, you have fiscal deficit. Okay, you have all these things. Fine. All these are problems. Now these departments will discuss that how to solve the problems. Every person in the department will try to give the idea that we can do this thing, we can do this thing, and after coordination they actually make a policy. पॉलिसीज कैसे बनती है? आपकी जो एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है, हेल्थ केयर पॉलिसी है, हाउ दीज पॉलिसीज आर बीइंग मेड? दीज पॉलिसीज आर बीइंग मेड बाय द डेलिब्रेट डिस्कशन. ओके, देन जैसे मान लो 10 लोग बैठे हैं तो 10 लोग 10 पॉइंट देते हैं. आफ्टर दैट ऑल दोस 10 पॉइंट्स आर अगेन वेरीफाइड कि ये काम कर सकते हैं कि नहीं. आफ्टर दैट दीज पॉलिसीज आर साइंड एंड फाइनली हमारे पास में एक एक्ट और ड्राफ्ट पास हो जाता है. ऑल दिस थिंग हैपन, right? So what thing is majorly playing here? Like which role is, you know, what role is like majorly playing here? That is coordination role. There should be proper coordination, है ना? There should be proper coordination by the ideas. Like through the ideas there can be proper coordination, right? Okay, through the ideas there can be proper coordination. Like 10 of the people come with 10 of the ideas. Now they actually merge that idea and make a policy. So this is the way, like how organization actually works. Okay, then we have the coordination through committees. You know, we have different kind of committees: public undertaking committee, estimate committee. Okay, what all these committee do? These committee actually try to scrutinize the work of the government. We had already, you know, in our like earlier topic that how government is controlled, no, administration is controlled by the legislature. ये हमारा पहले क्वेश्चन था, है ना, हमारा पहले टॉपिक था. So we have in length we have covered all these things, that how these committees are actually helping to target the administration. कि administration, if administration is working properly or not, how they are scrutinizing them. Okay, so there should be little coordination in between these committees. Okay, like if something given to the public undertaking committee, so public undertaking committee should complete its work in time so that estimate committee can start its work. Okay, if some report goes to public undertaking committee, then public undertaking committee would scrutinize that report. After that that report would be given to the estimate committee. तो इस तरह से there should be proper coordination in between them. Okay, then again your work can be completed, है ना. तो your work can be completed through the coordination. So we have three type of coordination mainly. First is through hierarchy, second is deliberate, and third is coordination through the committees. Okay. Then we have the decentralization or holding company ideas. What is decentralization? What is decentralization? Decentralization is actually a way of distributing power. So you focus on the decentralization, है ना. Holding company idea मतलब it is not fully written here, but it does mean that through decentralization you give the power to other entities, to the other companies to find out the solution of something. Okay, to implement the solution. Okay, तो इससे क्या होता है कि सेंट्रल वर्क, जो गवर्नमेंट का जो वर्क होता है, that get lesser, है ना. तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट वर्क get lesser through it. Then we have the unity of command. Again, it is very important that there should be one person who will give the direction or will give the command and or will give the instruction, and subordinate should receive should receive instruction from that one person only, right? So this is thing. Then we have the staff and line. What is now staff and line? See, staff and line are the people who are recruited for some specific purpose. Okay, तो जो लाइन जो होती है, मतलब स्टाफ और लाइन में ये डिफरेंस होता है कि जो लाइन इज अ पर्टिकुलर इंडिविजुअल who work directly on some problem. Okay, staff is the one who actually work indirectly on the problem. So that is the staff and line of the organization, है ना. तो if there is some problem, so the line does mean that they directly engage with the problem and solve with the solution, and staff is the one who actually पूरा डिपार्टमेंट जो संभालते हैं. जैसे मतलब लाइन का मतलब ये हुआ कि यू आर द मेंबर ऑफ अ डिपार्टमेंट, यू विल ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ ट्रेड डिफिशिट, यू विल ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ ट्विन डिफिशिट, है ना. एंड इन स्टाफ देयर वुड बी होल डिपार्टमेंट एंड दे वुड मतलब जो भी आपने सॉल्यूशन बताए हैं उनको इंप्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश करेंगे. सो लाइन एक्चुअली डायरेक्टली ट्राई टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम, और जो स्टाफ होता है वो उसका चीज थोड़ा डिफरेंट रहता है. ओके, वो इनडायरेक्टली चीजों को सॉल्व करते डील करते हैं. देन वी हैव द डेलीगेशन. व्हाट इज डेलीगेशन? डेलीगेशन इज एक्चुअली the bureaucracy is called the delegation. People who makes the policy, people who implement the policy are the delegation. Okay, in a particular organization. So you know that these politicians are not that well read in our country, but they are representatives. Okay, so the bureaucracy have to implement according to them. जैसा भी वो लोग बोलते हैं वैसा काम करना पड़ता है, लेकिन रियल पॉलिसीज एंड इम्प्लीमेंटेशंस आर एक्चुअली डन बाय देम. हु एक्चुअली मेक द पॉलिसीज? ब्यूरोक्रेट्स मेक द पॉलिसीज एंड दीज पीपल आर कॉल्ड द डेलीगेशन. जो प्रधानमंत्री स्पीच पढ़ते हैं, द स्पीच रेड बाय द पीएम इज एक्चुअली रिटन बाय द डेलीगेट्स ओनली. इट इज नॉट दैट द पीएम हैज मेमोराइज्ड ऑल द फैक्ट्स कि कितना कितना आपका क्राइम है, कितना कितना क्राइम नहीं है, 50 ईयर में कांग्रेस ने क्या किया. ऑल दोज डाटा आर प्रोवाइडेड बाय द डेलीगेशन. सो दे हेल्प द एग्जीक्यूटिव इन कंप्लीटिंग देयर वर्क. Okay, they help the society by making policies and implementing policies. Okay, then we have the span of control. Span of control we have already studied in a detailed manner. What is span of control? It means your access, है ना, कि आपका मतलब जो भी वर्क है आप कितने लोगों को कंट्रोल कर पा रहे हो, स्पेशली व्हेन यू आर लाइक इफ यू आर कलेक्टर, okay, so how many people or how many subordinate would be controlled by you, okay. So by geography, by place thing, we have read span of control in a very detailed manner. I would suggest you to go to the earlier chapters and see them once, okay. Then we have the most important principle according to Gulick is division of work, okay. So he actually gave 10 of the principles. In that also he gave special mention to the division of work, which means specialization. According to Gulick, administration consists of 7 elements. He coined the acronym POSCOP. Who coined the acronym POSCOP? Gulick gave the acronym POSCOP. Okay, so he said कि administration consists of 7 elements. First, he emphasized on the division of work. If 2 marks question come to you that which principle is emphasized by the Gulick, then you will explain whole division of work principle there. Okay, this can be a 2 marker question. Then your 5 marker question can be explain the 7 important functions or elements of the administration given by the Gulick. So here you would explain the POSCOP thing. P for planning, O for organization, S for staffing, D for directing, CO for coordinating, and then reporting, then budgeting. All these things you have to explain there. Okay, 5 marks में अगर आपका आ जाता है तो you like if you write one line for each, then again the space would be filled. One thing you should be in your mind, you should take in your mind that whenever you write the answer, you should fill those lines. Okay, I won't say that write something absurd, but your knowledge should be that much high कि आप उसको कम से कम fill कर पाओ. And don't try to be extra smart by writing, by using extra lines. कुछ लोग होते हैं, like I have seen papers, like while checking some institutes paper, मैंने चीज देखी है, लोग हमेशा एक्स्ट्रा लाइन खींच देते हैं. सो दैट इज समथिंग वेरी रॉन्ग. कभी भी एक्स्ट्रा लाइन खींच के चीजें मत करो. डोंट डू दैट. दिस इज समथिंग वेरी एब्सर्ड. ओके, एंड दिस ऑल्सो लुक एब्सर्ड. हाउ मच स्पेस इज गिवन टू यू? You just fill your information in that space and that's all. Don't try to be extra smart by writing extra line in those things. Okay, but this is POSCO principle. This is something very, very important. Give 5 stars or 10 stars. है ना? Many a time this question has come and I feel that this question is going to come again and again. Okay, so then we have the next topic, that is Urwick. First, Gulick's 10 principle we have read. Now we are going to deal with 8 principles of the organization given by the Urwick. So first he gave the principle of objective. See, what is the principle of objective? Okay, what does the objective mean? Objective mean there is some kind of purpose in your mind while making an organization. Okay, so why Niti Aayog came into existence? Why you make Niti Aayog? You had some kind of objective in your mind, है ना? Then Niti Aayog came into existence, right? So objective actually, principle of objective says that if you are making some organization, there should be purpose behind that organization. If you are going to start some organization, there should be purpose behind that organization. Suppose in 1945, there IMF came into the world. Why IMF took the birth? IMF took the birth for so many reasons, like for supporting the world's economy, for supporting the other countries, for reprimanding them कि अगर वो कुछ गलत policies मतलब अगर कर रहे हैं, यूज कर रहे हैं, तो उनको डांटने के लिए कि नहीं भैया ये गलत है, इसको मत यूज करो. So there was kind of objective in the mind for making an organization. In the same way, principle of objective says that organization should have expressed purpose. Like we have the organization named Zenith. Why Zenith have made? Like Zenith has whole purpose that कि हमारे जो बच्चे हैं, all person get selected in the respective services जिसकी वो preparation कर रहे हैं. Okay, so Zenith made for that purpose and Zenith is working for that purpose. So every organization have some kind of purpose, which we call principle of the objective. Second thing is principle of the correspondence. Okay, what is the principle of correspondence? At all the levels, authority and responsibility must be coterminous and co-equal. What is the meaning of coterminous and co-equal? It simply means that if you are giving authority, then that person should have responsibility in the same ratio, right? If you say you are the collector, it does mean you have to take care of whole district. If you say you are the SDM, then you have to take care of whole block because you are the SDM. If you say you are the Tehsildar, then you have to take care of whole Tehsil. Right? So, if you are actually okay, so if you are actually dealing with here principle of correspondent, so you have to write all these things, or you can give example of collector and STM. Like authority is higher, similarly the responsibility is also higher, right? अगर कोई सरपंच होता है, then सरपंच would take care of only that village. The responsibility would be less because authority is less. Similarly, if a collector has higher authority, then responsibility is higher. Okay, then we have the principle of the responsibility, that is superior must take absolute responsibility for the work of subordinate, right? Principle of responsibility says that superior should take absolute responsibility. Like if you are the team head, right? If you are the team head, you are the SP, and under you there is some project going on. Okay, so if that project get failed, if you are not able to find the culprit, okay, then you are going to answer the authority that why you could not find the culprit. Okay, so within a month, within a 2 month, you have to complete your project, and if you could not, whether it's failure of your team or whether it's failure of your side, you have to answer the authority why you could not complete the project. Okay, then we have the scalar principle. It says structure should be built in an organization. Structure should be built in an organization. Like we have hierarchical system, right? Pehle SB, then we have the, then we have the DSP, then we have the DSP, then we have the CI, then we have the SI. What is this? This is complete hierarchical system, which we call pyramidal type of system. Okay, because SP can be given 2-3 departments, right? Crime department में भी 2-3 crime department SP को दिए जा सकते हैं. So SP have to take care of all these departments. Like SP is sitting here, then these are the subordinates, and these subordinates are again in the hierarchy. Okay, and we say that this is pyramidal structure department, and today work is going on in the pyramidal structure also again, है ना? Then we have the principle of span of control, है ना? So it does mean no supervisor can supervise directly. They say that any supervisor can actually deal with 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 subordinates. There were so many thinkers who gave different like notion. ठीक है, कितने subordinate एक बंदा handle कर सकता है. They gave different notions, and we actually read them. We actually understood them. So आपको ये लाइन पढ़ते ही समझ में आना चाहिए कि principle of span of control क्या कह रहा है. Again we have principle of specialization. Okay, so it is again principle of division of work only, है ना? The principle of specialization says कि limiting one work to a single function. Suppose I am in the finance ministry. So I am the, I am an IAS and I am working in the finance ministry. So my whole task is to scrutinize the finance system, कि finance system कैसा work करता है और उसको ज़्यादा maintain करना, एक नया तरह का finance system बनाना to help the country's individual or the whole of the economy. Okay, so I have some specialized function. होता क्या है, what is the problem in our system, that actually the person who become IAS is the generalist, है ना, क्योंकि उसको सब चीजों की थोड़ी थोड़ी नॉलेज होती है. बट टुडे इज डिमांड इज कि एवरीवन द पर्सन शुड बी एन एक्सपर्ट, ही शुड नॉट बी दैट जर्नलिस्ट. अभी जो आपका ये जो ऑप्शनल सब्जेक्ट है, ये क्यों है, टू फाइंड आउट द एक्सपर्ट. कि जैसे आप बताते हो कि आपके पास में ऑप्शनल था यूपीएससी में इकोनॉमी, तो हो सकता है यू विल बी गिवन हायर डिपार्टमेंट इन इकोनॉमी फील्ड. ओके, suppose you say that you had the history as the optional subject, maybe in your future you will be given archaeological department of the country to maintaining or dealing with or whatever. Okay, so this is something principle of specialization. Okay, in our country though principle of specialization is not fully working, but government is hiring experts for particular thing, like RBI governor, like ex RBI governor Raghuram Rajan was not an IAS but a financial and economic expert, and he did lot of reforms in the RBI, and he was specially invited by the government from the Chicago University. He was teaching in Chicago University. Government actually invited him. Okay, and because of his expertise he took over the RBI department and he was the RBI governor. Okay, so this something happened in specialization. Some specialized person actually given some specialized task in which that person is expertise. But unfortunately we have generalists today. So these generalists are further trained and given that department, that particular department. Okay, so these all things happen. Then there are some critical evaluation of the classical theory. Some says it was the unscientific theory. Who says it was the unscientific theory? Waldo said that it was the unscientific theory. So there were two people, Herbert Simon and Waldo. See, if you remember all these names, it give weightage to your answer. Okay, जो भी वहां पे आंसर लिख के आओगे उसमें आपको weightage मिलेगा if you remember all these names. Okay, the theory was not tested under scientific condition. Like they say that theory is not that tested, there were not proper survey. Okay, जैसे मतलब टेलर की जो theory थी उसमें testing हुई थी, different industries में जाके analysis हुआ था. Here there is no analysis and you are just simply giving the theory. Again, it neglected the human dimension of the organization, like especially psychological aspect or sociological aspect. Okay, you just only said one thing कि he is the economy man. Okay, तो इकोनॉमी मैन है मतलब पैसे से मोटिवेट होगा. यू डिड नॉट ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट द अदर फैक्टर्स विच मोटिवेट द पर्सन टू डू द वर्क इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. हाउ देयर शुड बी रिलेशन बिटवीन that particular human being. Okay, you have not dealt with that thing enough way. Okay, then we have March and Simon. They said that this theory is machine mode theory. You have just defined the structure of organization. You have just not defined the details, like how human beings should deal with the things, how the employer and employer, like the relations of employer and employer, कुछ भी आपने नहीं समझाया है. Okay, then we have it is more concerned with the work rather than the worker. Okay, thus it underestimated the human factor. Again this thing happened कि आप वर्क की बात कर रहे हो, आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर की बात कर रहे हो, that there should be principle of division, there should be scalar chain, there should be that pyramid thing, hierarchy thing, but you are not trying to elaborate that how should be the worker. It does mean you are only talking about work, you are not talking about worker. It does mean you are missing the human aspect in this theory. It is oversimplified human motivation. He is only just there for maximizing income. अगर ऐसा होता कि सब सिर्फ पैसे कमाने के लिए बैठे होते तो so many people leave their lucrative job for small things. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. अभी so many people in software companies are leaving their lucrative jobs and are becoming some comedian or are pursuing some hobbies, some are becoming traveler blogger. ये सब चीजें क्यों हो रही है? बिकॉज दे आर नॉट ओनली मनी माइंडेड. जैसे कुछ लोग हैं फोटोग्राफी प्रोफेशन को ले रहे हैं, ठीक है, सब लोग अपना बीच बीच में प्रोफेशन चेंज कर रहे हैं. व्हाई दे आर डूइंग दिस? Because money is not only satisfaction, and through the classical theory, the theorists try to say कि money is the only satisfaction. So theory of fuel Taylor is failed. Theory of fuel is failed here because fuel could not give more dimension. He only said कि ये सिर्फ theory इस चीज के around है and that's all. ठीक है? It deal with formal organization, right, and neglect the informal organization process. ये सिर्फ फॉर्मल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को डील करता है, इनफॉर्मल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जो प्रोसेस है उसको नेग्लेक्ट करता है. जबकि यू हैव रेड व्हाट इज ग्रेप वाइन कम्युनिकेशन. द पीपल हु डज गॉसिप इन द सिस्टम, लाइक इनफॉर्मल लेवल पे जो आपके इनफॉर्मल रिलेशंस बन जाते हैं ऑफिस के अंदर, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं. दे एक्चुअली प्ले इंपॉर्टेंट रोल फॉर द रनिंग ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. तो उनके बीच में जो रिलेशंस होते हैं, अगर इफ देयर आर बैड रिलेशन इन बिटवीन दीज पीपल, देन it is not good for the economy or it is not good for the organization. Good or coordinating relation should be there, but classical theory have neglected that informal part of organization but only taken care of formal part. Then we have that Herman Simon. He described the principles of organization as the proverbs. He said कि all these are proverbs, myths, slogans and nothing. Okay. तो इनको he said कि they just these principles are proverbs and I just don't believe it, all these principles. So he neglected all these principles as he said that these are not validated and these are not scientifically useful, these are not universal. So these are all the critical evaluation of the theory. But we can't neglect the classical theory because classical theory is helping us in a larger way. Okay, classical theory has a big significance because अभी जो हमारे administration में working है, that is based on the classical theory at the large extent. Okay, so we have the first thing is classical thinkers developed administration into a science. जो क्लासिकल थिंकर थे उन्होंने एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को एक साइंस के अंदर कन्वर्ट कर दिया कि एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज ओनली अ साइंस. ओके, देन वी हैव द क्लासिकल राइटर्स. ओके, दे वर द फर्स्ट टू प्रोवाउंड द आइडिया दैट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन itself is a separate activity which deserve intellectual investigation. ओके, तो इन्होंने साफ कह दिया कि इट इज अ सेपरेट एक्टिविटी जिसको इंटेलेक्चुअल इन्वेस्टिगेशन की जरूरत है, बट इट इज समथिंग वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट. ओके, तो दे बिलीव दैट वी आर यूजिंग अ साइंस क्योंकि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे प्रिंसिपल्स यूज हो रहे हैं जो कि यूनिवर्सली एप्लीकेबल है. ठीक है, सो इफ सम पीपल आर सेइंग इट इज नॉट साइंस, तो दे पीपल आर रॉन्ग और दे कुड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड द क्लासिकल थियरी. थर्ड थिंग इज it promoted the use of certain management. Okay, so these techniques like reporting, accounting, budgeting, these are kind of scientific techniques which have actually helped the public administration which was earlier deficient, but now they are helping the system a lot. Okay, then classical theory played important role in rationalizing and stimulating the production in industrial organization. सी, अगर काम बहुत सिस्टमैटिक वे में होता है, जैसे आपकी जो इंडस्ट्रियल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है हमारे इंडिया में 20% सिस्टम इज फॉर्मल सिस्टम. ठीक है, 20% सिस्टम इज एक्चुअली ऑर्गेनाइज सिस्टम. दैट्स व्हाई देयर प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड वर्किंग इज हाई. बट 80% सिस्टम इज अनऑर्गेनाइज सिस्टम. जो 80% ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है आपकी वो अनऑर्गेनाइज है. दैट्स व्हाई देयर लैक ऑफ lot of discipline in them, lot of principles are lacking there. That's why they are not working that much efficiently. जो 20% जो efficiently काम कर रही है, those 80% are not efficiently working because classical theories have played important role in the promotion of the industrial organization. Then the last is इट गिव लॉजिकल, रेशनल एंड एफिशिएंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर. जो भी आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर बनता है वो लॉजिकल होता है, रेशनल होता है. हाउ? बिकॉज यू आर यू आर हायरिंग द पीपल ऑन बेसिस ऑफ क्वालिफिकेशन. लाइक कोई अगर सब इंस्पेक्टर बन गया तो आपने उसको कर लिया. कोई सीआई बन गया तो आपने ओके उसको कर लिया. कोई अगर आरएस बन गया तो ओके यू हैव यू हैव टिक्ड मार्क दैट पर्सन. अच्छा चल ठीक है, आप आरएस हो और आप सीआई हो, सीआई हो, ठीक है, एसआई हो, तो उस बेसिस पे यू आर टिक्ड मार्क एंड यू आर हायर्ड एंड दैट्स ऑल, है ना. तो ऑल दिस थिंग्स हैपन. नाउ देयर इज अनदर थियरी, bureaucratic theory. Please try to read those theory in a significant way. Classical theory is very very important theory. Gulick, Fjoll and Urwick, these are important people to be they have contributed a lot in classical theory. So every aspect of theory is important. Please study them in a detailed manner. Okay, so we'll start with the bureaucracy theory after a single break. Let's start with the bureaucracy theory. Okay, so we have the bureaucratic theory. See, this word was first given by the Vincent. He was a thinker who gave the word, but the bureaucracy was majorly elaborated by the Max Weber. Okay, so Max Weber was a lawyer. Okay, and at that time, in between 1842 and 1920, when he was living and when he was working, like Max Weber, when Max Weber was working, marketing was booming. Okay, so organizing of those marketing, उस time में bureaucracy जो है वो काफी popular हुआ था. So Max Weber was in favor of bureaucracy, and he said that bureaucracy is an ideal type of system. And who coined the first word bureaucracy? It is coined by the Vincent de Gaulle. He was a French economist. He actually gave the word bureaucracy in 1745, which mean a desk. क्योंकि ब्यूरोक्रेसी में सारा जो वर्क होता है वो डेस्क पे होता है, तो डेस्क को फ्रेंच में ब्यूरो बोलते हैं. सो ही सेड दैट ब्यूरोक्रेसी इट डज मीन द वर्क ऑन द डेस्क, सो इट इज ब्यूरोक्रेसी. Who gave the word? Vincent de Gaulle. Your 2-number question can be arised here. Who was the one who first gave the word bureaucracy? So you should write Vincent de Gaulle, an economist from the France. Okay, he coined this word in 1745. So your answer should be like that, and you should also say that bureau means a desk in the French language. तो इतने में आपको 2 marks मिल जाएंगे. जितना भी 2 marks में फैक्चुअली ज्यादा लिखोगे उतने मार्क्स आपको मिल जाएंगे. यू विल गेट दैट इजीली. ओके, द क्रेडिट फॉर द सिस्टमैटिक फॉर्मुलेशन ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेटिक थ्योरी गोज टू मैक्स वेबर. तो क्रेडिट जो था, ठीक है, इस ब्यूरोक्रेसी का पूरा, वो किसको दिया गया? मैक्स वेबर को दिया गया. मैक्स वेबर वाज गिवन द क्रेडिट. ओके, सो मैक्स वेबर he lived in between, he actually worked in between 1864 to 1920, and he was very much interested. He was actually lawyer by profession, but he was very much interested in marketing. He was saying that markets are booming, but these are not properly organized. He said that there should be proper organization for supporting these markets. Okay, तो जो markets corporate sector उस time पे खड़ा हो रहा था, they were not organized. So bureaucracy is needed here, and thus he elaborated the bureaucracy, and he also said that bureaucracy is ideal type. It is a utopian system. क्या है? Ideal type है. It is a utopian system है, जिसको आप purely like it is a mental map. Like आप mental अपने दिमाग में उसका एक पिक्चर बना सकते हो, लेकिन प्रॉपरली यू कांट एग्जीक्यूट दैट बिकॉज ब्यूरोक्रेसी इज समथिंग आइडियल टाइप, है ना. तो अगर ये आइडियल टाइप है, जैसे आप बोलते हो राम राज्य, व्हाट इज दैट? दैट इज यूटोपियन सिस्टम. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू इम्प्लीमेंट राम राज्य प्रॉपरली because we have in our country, we have so much disparities, we have so much inequalities, we have so much poverty, we have so much inefficiency and corruption, nepotism in the system. Okay, so same way he said that it is an utopian system, and if bureaucracy is something which is ideal type. It is not possible to implement or execute it in a proper 100% manner. Okay, it is a mental map. What is mental map? That something you have made a map in mind कि अच्छा ये ऐसा होना चाहिए, but जरूरी नहीं कि वो ऐसा है कि नहीं. Okay, that is what, that is your mental map. Fine. You got my point? So we have covered till here. Now we are going to the next slide. Okay, so he gave some characteristics of the bureaucracy. See, first of all, please take this thing in your mind कि you have to explain everything properly. आप जो भी चीज कर रहे हो, जो भी चीज आप बता रहे हो, आप एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हो, तो जैसे उसका कीवर्ड आपको हाईलाइट करना है. यू हैव टू highlight those keywords, right? So the ideal type of bureaucracy is legal rational bureaucracy. So this is your keyword. You should highlight these points because these are actually your characteristics, right? So bureaucracy designed by Max Weber has following कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. तो यहाँ पे क्या है, लीगल रेशनल, मतलब उनका जो आइडियल टाइप था वो कैसा था, लीगल रेशनल टाइप का था. एंड नाउ ही गेव द फॉलोइंग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. दीज आर ऑफिशियल कैपेसिटीज, दे आर पर्सनली फ्री, आर सब्जेक्ट टू अथॉरिटी, राइट? तो कुछ कुछ चीजें हैं जैसे कि ब्यूरोक्रेट्स आर सब्जेक्ट टू अथॉरिटी. ओके, सो ब्यूरोक्रेट्स आर सब्जेक्ट टू अथॉरिटी. इट डज मीन सपोज प्रधानमंत्री इज द अथॉरिटी, पीएम इज आर अथॉरिटी, देन ब्यूरोक्रेट्स आर सब्जेक्ट टू देम, है ना? दे आर अकाउंटेबल टू द एग्जीक्यूटिव. जैसा एग्जीक्यूटिव बोलेगी वैसा उनको काम करना पड़ेगा. दे आर अकाउंटेबल टू द एग्जीक्यूटिव एंड दे आर सब्जेक्ट टू द अथॉरिटी. ओके, इन द ऑफिशियल कैपेसिटी, इन द ऑफिशियल कैपेसिटी, लाइक अगर ऑफिस में हो, उनके जो भी ऑर्डर आए यू हैव टू फॉलो. But personally they are free. It does mean they have their own right of making policies and using their own mind for implementing their policy. कि policies को अगर वो implement कर रहे हैं जो भी उनके अपने एक innovation तरीके से, वो सब उनका अपना होगा, तो they are personally they are free. First is they are subject to authority but only in official way, but personally they are free. Second thing is they are organized clearly in a defined hierarchy. Please highlight this word defined hierarchy because we have read in detail कि hierarchy क्या होती है. Okay, each lower office is under control of the supervision of the higher one. जो lower office है is under control of higher one. ठीक है, lower office is under control of the higher one. Okay, third thing is each office has clearly defined a sphere of competence. ठीक है, in the legal sense, in the sense कि आपको आपका काम दिया गया है. ऐसा नहीं कि आप फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर काम कर रहे हो और आप डिफेंस मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर जाकर अपना इंटरफेरेंस करो. नो, यू आर गिवन योर स्फीयर ऑफ कॉम्पिटेंस जिसमें आपको यू हैव टू कंप्लीट दैट वर्क इन दैट. मतलब अगर आपको हनुमानगढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट संभालने को दी हुई है, then you are not going to interfere in the work of the Ganganagar district. This should be taken care of, right? The office is filled by free contractual relationship. Thus, in principle, there is a free selection. The office is filled by free contractual relationship and thus, in principle, there is a free selection. जैसे आपके मैं आपको पता है नाउ हाउ ब्यूरोक्रेसी इज वर्किंग. ओके, सो देयर इज डीआईपीपी को टास्क दिया हुआ है कि जो हायरिंग वगैरह है उसका प्रोसीजर जो भी है वो सारा आप बनाओगे, ट्रेनिंग का सारा प्रोसीजर आप बनाओगे. सो सम कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज गिवन टू सम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड नाउ दे आर फ्री टू सिलेक्ट. ओके, सो ऑल दीज आर कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल रिलेशंस जिनके बेसिस पे वर्क होता है. In the bureaucracy, officials are selected on the basis of technical qualification. Whatever exam you give, they try to find out how your mind work on the particular aspect. लेकिन जैसे आप आईएएस का एग्जाम जब क्रैक करने जाते हो तो योर माइंड शुड बी ऑन देयर कि आप कैसे एग्जाम को ले रहे हो, कैसे आपका एक दिमाग है किस चीज को लेकर. ठीक है, वो सारी चीजें आपका टेक्निकल क्वालिफिकेशन है कि आपका माइंड कैसे वर्क कर रहा है उस चीज को लेके. Okay, so these are the kind of technical qualifications. If you get the technical qualifications, technical का मतलब सिर्फ साइंस नहीं होती है. Technical does mean it's a technique. कि अगर जैसे आपको यूपीएससी क्रैक करना है तो देयर इज सम टेक्निक बिहाइंड क्रैकिंग द यूपीएससी. नॉट एवरीवन कैन क्रैक यूपीएससी. द पर्सन हु हैज एक्चुअली टेक्निक, एक्चुअली जिनकी सोच बड़ी होती है, दोज पीपल हु कैन थिंक फॉर द ब्यूरोक्रेसी आर ओनली टेक्निकली क्वालिफाइड. ओके, fine. So, but after there were so many characteristics, but Weber was criticized very badly. हर चीज का like whatever you make criticism तो होगा ही. So he said that people says that again it is a machine theory. Okay, again you are concerned about formal structure of organization and you are not taking care of human aspect. You are saying that organization should be like that. You are saying कि organization में ये चीजें होनी चाहिए, but you are not dealing with the human aspect. Then again it is a machine theory. It is a closed system model. Okay, why it's a closed system model? Because you are not dealing with the interaction in the internal organization. Internal organization के अंदर क्या interaction हो रहा है, ठीक है, उसको आप कंसिडर ही नहीं कर रहे हो. दैट हाउ पीपल इन द एनवायरमेंट डीलिंग विथ ईच अदर. क्या ऑफिस में पॉलिटिक्स बहुत ज्यादा है? इफ देयर इज पॉलिटिक्स अ लॉट, देन कैन इट बी पॉसिबल दैट पीपल सर्वाइव देयर? जो लोग ज्यादा पॉलिटिक्स नहीं खेलना चाहते, सिर्फ अपने काम में एफिशिएंट है, क्या वो लोग वहां सर्वाइव कर सकते हैं? लाइक अगेन यू आर नॉट टेकिंग केयर ऑफ द ह्यूमन एस्पेक्ट बट द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. Okay, it cannot function in an unstable environment. See, if environment is not good, environment does not mean कि only this pollution वाला environment or this wind and all. Environment is like office में भी आपका particular environment है. Is that environment is stable or not? Like आपको पता है कि always there is a transfer of some person, है ना? हमेशा ट्रांसफर हो जाता है. तो उन्होंने जिस तरीके से ऑर्डर दिए थे, अब नीचे वाले लोग कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. नाउ दे गेट कंफ्यूज that we should implement or we should follow those orders or those ways or we should deal with the new ways. अभी जो नया बंदा आएगा वो नए तरीके बताएगा, पुराना बंदा जिसका ट्रांसफर हो गया उसने नए तरीके बताए थे, पुराने तरीके बताए थे. तो मतलब एक अनस्टेबल एनवायरनमेंट जो होता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर, यू आर नॉट डीलिंग विद दैट. बिकॉज हमारे यहाँ पे ट्रांसफर होते रहते हैं, पर ट्रांसफर की वजह से जो अनस्टेबिलिटी क्रिएट होती है, all these things are not dealt with and all these things are not mentioned here. Again, it is suitable for routine and repetitive jobs, but not for jobs involving creativity and innovation. है ना? जो रूटीन में जॉब्स है और जो आपकी repetitive jobs है, सिर्फ उनके साथ ही they are dealing, but they are not dealing with the creativity and innovation. See, if there would be like we already studied about the entrepreneurship, we already studied we already studied good governance, है ना? So all these things are not covered here. Okay, so all these things should be covered here, like creativity and innovation in the system. But what you are doing only routine work and repetitive work, which should not be given much importance. Okay, तो routine और repetitive work को आप importance दे रहे हो, बल्कि creativity और innovation को you are not giving importance. Okay, so all these things are done here. So we are done with the bureaucracy theory given by like Weber. And now in our next class, I'm going to deal with the a thinker named Marker Follett. Marker Follett की क्या thinking थी bureaucracy को लेके, administration को लेके. We will deal with that thing in a length. Okay. So for today class, it is completed. और आज का आपका aspect complete हो चुका है. In the next class हम Marker Follett complete करेंगे and human relation theory also. Okay, thank you, goodbye.